Good morning, everybody. It's Lucien with Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. Welcome back. Hopefully you've been following along as we go from the safety of your home with the COVID situation. Hopefully this adds some value to your day and allows you to get a little bit of workout and some practice of our Hung Kuen Kung Fu. So today's class, as always, we're going to be doing a series of fundamental exercises, little light stretching, some punches, some kicks, some bridge work, and then we're going to run through 5 stances and a few of the other traditional Hung Kuen forms. This is a beginner/intermediate all ages class. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified whenever we go live. And we're still streaming classes live 4 days a week, and we have over 500, at this point over 600 classes archived on our website, on our YouTube channel, that you can go back to review or watch over again as your schedule permits. All right, so feet shoulder width, nice big hoop, turning 3 times right and then left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Reaching over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, adjusting the mic here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Raising the arms, stretching towards the floor. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. We inhale and exhale. And again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale and exhale. Hands on the waist, rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. And we switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Crossing the hands, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. We switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. And rotation, looking all the way around. 1, 2, and 3. and we switch. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, I can tell today the mic is going to be an issue. It just wants to fall off my head. Okay. Opening up the feet, arms out, turn your body and your head. So you're trying to look behind you. Your arms just go along for the ride, nice and relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to cross our fingers, turn to the right, bending your right knee, lift your left heel off the floor, straight back, and we gently stretch. 1, 2, 3. We switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Both feet flat. And we switch. Switch with the toe up. And we switch, toe up. Okay, everyone up. We're going to turn to the right, both legs straight, bending at the waist. We switch to the left and to the middle. Let's bring the feet in, toes out, elbows between the knees. We call this the frog. Stretching the hip, improving the range of motion for both the hip and the ankle. Let's sit. Both feet together. Butterfly position. Give it a light stretch. Okay, right leg out. Left foot in, keeping your right leg straight, stretch towards the toe. And we switch. Left foot, right foot in, stretching towards your left toe. Both feet out, hands behind you, bounce, and switch, and up. Deep breathing, inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hang on, everyone. I want to make sure. Usually that's me calling sifu about the sound, so let me make sure the sound's okay. Check 1, 2. Yep, looks like that's okay. All right. All right. So next up, we're going to do horse stance drill where we're going to open up into a horse stance. We're going to do a reverse punch, ping choi, or a flat punch. And then we're going to do low, middle, and high blocks. Then a combination of that with punches. And then we're going to do some danji kyoseo, pushing out. So we start, ready position, make fist, raise them up. Bend the knees, heels out, toes out, heels out, toes out. Your feet are parallel, feet are flat. Bending the knees outward like you're sitting on a big, fat, healthy horse. Back is straight, body's relaxed, and ping choi punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Sorry, again, that mic. I'll apologize in advance for that. Now we're going to do low block. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block. Come across the body, stopping at the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2, closing 1, 2. And high block, we lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2, closing 1, 2. All right, now we're going to do low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2, closing 1, 2. Middle block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2, closing 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2, closing 1, 2. Danji Kyoseo, we're going to squeeze down all of your fingers except for your index finger. Wrists are bent with the fingers facing upward. Pull your elbows back, hands to the chest. We're going to come back to this position for all directions of push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In front, shoulder width, shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. And we close and close up our stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Palms up, elbows down, elbows out. Big breath in. And come down slowly with your breath. Again, inhale, exhale. And one more time. Very good. Now we're going to do a series of punches. These punches, we're going to do a set on the right and a set on the left. If you're new to the class, feet shoulder width, straight line between your toes, feet parallel, and again, bending the knees slightly. Doesn't matter if we turn our punch to the side, to the front, turning, whatever we're doing, this is going to be our stance for these punches. You're going to put your left hand on your waist, make a fist with your right hand, bring it to the center of the chest, and push out. So your elbow drops down out of the way. You don't want your elbow to do this. It puts a different direction on your punch. You want your punch to travel in a straight line. And go. And let's switch. Punch. Okay, stop, to the side, punch. Okay, stop, to the side, punch. Okay, stop, both fists by our ears, hiwa choi, alternating punch. You turn the waist, drop the fist down like a hammer, and the fist on the opposite side comes up to the side to protect. Turn your waist, but don't turn your head because you don't want to lose sight of your opponent, so you keep your head facing the front. Very good. Raise your right elbow, Knuckles facing down, putting the edge of the fist out and back. Go. Okay, switch and punch. Very good. Cheurng Kuen, cartwheel punch. One fist travels over the other like a wheel rolling forward. Make sure that your punch is extended when it's right out at front. So you don't want to be punching up here or down here, but directly in front, and maintain the center line. You don't want to punch like this. You want to punch like this. Okay, stop. Kwa choi, back of the fist, so we turn our knuckles towards our chest and strike out with the back of the fist. Okay, let's switch and punch. Okay, very good. Lightly touching with your left toe. Right toe is facing 45. You're in a suspended stance, a cat stance. Left fist out. We're going to switch and punch. Go. And good. Deep breathing. Excellent. So next up, we're going to do a series of kicks. We're going to do 6 kicks each leg, so right and left. And we're going to do Liam Hoi, Chang Hoi, Chun Sam Hoi, Wong Sohoi. We're going to do 4 different versions of kicks. So we're going to start in a leaning stance, left foot forward, left knee is over the toe, right leg is straight, don't bend the knee. And both feet are actually at a 45 with your toe of your left foot lined up with the heel of your right. Left hand on top, we punch with the right, toe out with your left, lift your knee, kick with the toe. It's a snap kick, it's rising up, step back, punch and pivot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, we switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. Jit Chang Hoi, same thing, but we're going to lift the knee and push out this time. So you should see the bottom of your shoe out, or your foot. Here we go, kicking with the heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good job. Let's switch. This is the only kick we do where the leg remains straight the entire time of the kick. So we're not going to bend the knee and lift the knee. We're going to lift the whole leg straight up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And lastly, roundhouse kick, Wong Sohoi. What we want to do is punch, toe out. You're actually going to lift your knee up to the side and then turn it over. A lot of people, when they're throwing their roundhouse kick, they're so focused on getting their foot to the front that they forget the hip and knee position. But that's really where the power comes from. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So just one thing to note. You want to make sure that when we're punching, the idea is not that we're going to hit our opponent with every punch. It's that if I try to kick from here without any punches, very easy to see that kick coming. If you have the fists to contend with, even if they're not in range to hit, draws your attention to that. The other thing is I don't want to drop my hands. A lot of times we see this, but you don't want to be standing on one foot wide open. In general, that's going to be a mistake. Okay? So next up, we're going to do 5 stances. This is traditional Hongga or Hung Kuen 5 stances that our sifu, Grandmaster Calvin Chin, created this. And this is one of the first things that we teach new students, but also even those students that have been with sifu for a really long time. You know, we have students who've been here 30 years, 20 years. You know, on average, I think our average student is here for 10 years, which factors in students who are brand new with students who have been here much longer than that. And so all of us practice this drill because it has a lot to offer. It's fairly simple, it's reasonably basic, but there's a lot of benefit to it. So we're going to do it to 4 directions. I'm basically going to start going to the front. Anytime I have my back to you with this single camera, you want to use the mirrors as well to see what's going on. And then we're going to make a turn to the left, to the left, to the left, and back here. All right? So here we go. Make fists, raise them up to the chest, drop the elbows, open the hands, push out with the edge. Make sure that your arms are not straight out. They're 45. Shoulder width, palms up, make fists, pull. Open, and we push out. 1, 2, 3. Double elbow, press, thrust, press. And we go big hoop and close. Right fist on top, offset horse stance, chun kyo. Sliding step, leaning stance punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, and turn the waist to punch. Toe out, big cross step, big hoop, turn, dragon whips tail, spin out, corner back fist to the head, make a circle, intercept, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover, leaning stance, high block, low block, left knee up, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, and we close. Now we're going to head towards the camera. I'm just going to move back here to give a little more room. Same thing, right fist on top, offset horse stance, straight line from toe to heel, chun kyo. Sliding step, leaning stance punch to the center. Sometimes see people punch off center, but you want to be lined up the center of your chest. Left hand underneath to set it up, step through to leaning, elbow, and punch. You have to turn your waist and your stance. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail. When you pivot out, you should be back at offset horse stance. Sometimes when you pivot, you might end up here. Adjust the foot before you throw the technique so you have better balance. So it's toe to heel, corner back fist to the head, intercept, punch, step straight back, leaning stance, high block, low block, left knee up, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, and we close. Now we're going to go one more time this way. Right fist on top, step out, chun kyo, sliding step, leaning stance punch, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail, corner back fist to the head, intercept, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover, leaning stance, high block, low block. Left knee up, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, and we close. So that's all 4 directions. Hopefully that was fairly easy to follow along. One sec. Sorry about that. In any case, there's a lot to it. We're really trying to make sure that we're driving our punches from the feet all the way up. The stance transition from leaning to offset and turning the waist. Just the stance transition doesn't do it. Just turning the waist doesn't do it. They have to work together. Whenever you're practicing either this drill or honestly any of the other things that we're doing, a lot of times there's a temptation to kind of fly through it, go through it as fast as you can from one thing to the next. And that's great for stamina, but doesn't necessarily improve technique. It's really helpful for you to practice each thing individually until you can do it without thinking about it. That's what we're trying to do, is build muscle memory, which is actually much more accurate than mental memory, right? I always give an example. Mental memory is, where did I put my bike? Muscle memory is, once I find my bike, I jump on it and I can ride it no problem, right? And so muscle memory is a really useful thing, and this is why we drill things over and over and over again. We repeat them in a deliberate and diligent fashion so that we can make that connection in the brain so you don't have to think about it anymore. Okay, so anyway, next up we're going to do Moy Fa Kuen. This is the Plum Flower Fist Set, and this is the first form that we teach here at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. So here we go. Make fists, raise them up. Salute, and we close. Bend your knees, step out, high block, low block. Cross step, dragon. Right fist on top, step back, chun kill, scoop. Step all the way up, uppercut. Left hand on top, cat stance, remove, punch. Squatting, uppercut, remove, punch. Toe out, cat stance, high block hammer fist, step out, drunken punch. Whoop, lost my mic. Left hand underneath, remove, high block. Step up, punch. Squatting, uppercut, sliding step, punch. Squatting, right elbow up, step up, cut. Offset to leaning, double palm strike. Left hand on top, remove, punch. Toe out, step to the rear, we come across, left hand underneath, remove, rolling elbow, low corner back fist, palm strike to the chest. I'm going to move to the side just so you can still see in frame. Turn, high block, outside crescent with your left, hop kick, press with your left, offset to trapping, back fist, remove, punch. Right fist on top, feet together, step back, clear the path forward, offset, chun kill, palm strike to the waist. Pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon. Right fist on top, step back, chun kill, sliding step, punch, middle block, salute. 1, 2, 3, and we close. Very good. Deep breathing. So by the way, if you are joining us live, we're really happy to have you join us live. But we also have, again, as I mentioned, I think it's over 600 classes now archived on our YouTube channel. And Sifu goes over some amazing details that could really help your skill, your ability, your understanding. And so you should also refer back to those classes because every class that Sifu teaches, he teaches new information, different content. And so you never know what you're going to find in those classes, but I can guarantee you there's a lot of value there, whether you're a beginner student just starting out, or whether you're a seasoned martial artist and you're new to Hung Gar, or even as a seasoned Hung Gar or Hung Kuen practitioner. There's a lot of value there and doesn't cost anything. So hopefully you'll refer to that content as well. All right, so next up we're going to do the second form, Lau Gar Kuen. This is the Lao Family Fifth Set. And again, I know some schools teach forms in different orders. Some Hung Kuen schools will start with Gunji, some start actually with Lau Gar. But this is our second form that we teach. Okay? So again, we want to practice everything in a slow, deliberate fashion, just so that we make sure we're executing the movement to the best of our ability and in the most coordinated way. We make fists, raise them up, leaning stance, middle block. Pivot, toe out, cat stance, salute. Step back, pull your elbows in, shift, pivot, pivot, middle block, cat stance, salute. Step back, leaning, close. 2 punches to the ears, 2 punches down, open, we push out, scoop. Left hand underneath, cross step with your left, and middle block or chun with your left hand, cat stance, punch. So you recognize this from 5 stances perhaps. Step straight back, cover. Leaning stance, high block, low block, chop to the waist. Pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, punch. Right fist on top, step in, step back, clear the path forward. Chun kyo, sliding step, punch. Step all the way through, turn, tindu. Songgong, elbows down, dragon. Toe out, big cross step, high block and low block. Pivot, palm strike to the waist, pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust. Cut, chop, cross step, tindu. Side edge of the blade kick, phoenix eye. Right fist on top, chun kyo, punch. So from here, left hand on top, step through, elbow, dropping palm, back fist. Right fist on top, step up, chun kyo, punch. All the way through to leaning, turn, tindu. Lift, songgong, elbows down, dragon, toe out, cross step, high block, low block, palm strike. Pull your foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, open, chop. Cross step, tindu, edge of the blade kick, phoenix eye. Turn, body facing 45, your palms lined up with your waist, cross step to the 45, turn the wheel, meaning the left hand comes up to the shoulder, right hand goes to the hip, step through, turn, leaning, butterfly palm, cross step, scoop, cross step, turn the wheel, turn the waist, step through, push, step in, step out, low, middle, step in, step out, low, middle, step straight back, middle block with your right hand, reach out with the right, chop with your left, adjust your foot, penetrating elbow, dropping palm, back fist. I'm going to move to the side just to make sure you can still see in the camera. Lift 1, 2, sword fingers. Open as you step to cross step, trap. Step through, press, thrust. Middle block, turn to the corner, salute, back. 1, 2, 3, and we close. Deep breathing. So just a couple of things. Tindu is this 45 degree. It's the same 45-degree angle strike as a hammer strike downward at that angle that we do in Hiwachoi. But it comes from a high block position versus a vertical elbow position, and we turn the waist. So whether you're doing it from here or you're doing it from here, the path that your fist travels and the turn of the waist is going to be the same, right? So that's something, I know a lot of people try to put a lot of strength, straighten the arm out, but actually you just relax the arm and let it go at that angle. And then another thing is phoenix eye versus back fist. They look really similar. This is a phoenix eye fist. If you look, you squeeze down all your knuckles, put your thumb on the first knuckle of your middle finger, and then squeeze your index finger, the knuckle, into that so that it can't compress, right? So that's a phoenix eye. But the back fist position is the same as the phoenix eye position, but the direction it takes to get there is very different. So back fist is coming downward, and a phoenix eye is thrusting outward. Uppercut is coming upward, right? So back fist, uppercut, phoenix eye. They all end up in the same position as far as this position, center line, right? But the direction that you use to get there is the thing that differs. So it does pay to pay attention to those types of details. All right, so next up we're going to do the third form. Third form we teach here at Calvin Chen's Martial Arts Academy is Bumbu Kuen. Bumbu Kuen is the 7-star praying mantis, Chatsing Tonglong, crushing step form. It's a very popular very popular form within that system, and you see a lot of people around the world practice this form. It's not technically a traditional Hung Kuen form, but it's in our curriculum because our great grandmaster, late great grandmaster Lam he put that into the curriculum. He saw the form, he liked it, he saw some value in it, and so he put that in the form. And as a tradition, we carry that on, and our students do this form to this day. All right, so again, we're going to do this not competition or performance speed, but practice speed. Okay, we raise the hands, bend the knees, pull the elbows out, press. High block, hop, punch, come across, intercept, hop. 1, 2, 3, thrust. Step all the way through, punch. I'm going to actually step back just to make sure I stay on frame, stay in camera. So we're here, big circle, cross step, drop. Knee up, punch. Put your foot down first, elbow, back fist. Turn, we capture the arm, put the foot down, turn the waist, and pull. High block, ginger fist, scoop, vertical, hop. 1, 2, 3, thrust, punch. Feet together. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Move back just to stay on camera. We bring the fist down as the feet come together, and now we're going to lift in a set sequence. The sequence is right hand, left uppercut, left knee. So we're here, right hand, left uppercut, left knee. Right? So it's 1, 2, 3. So you want to do that in that order. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thrust, step all the way through, punch. Grab, step straight back, pull, turning the waist and the stance. Low block, turn, palm strike. Again, I'm going to stay on camera. Step out, turn, scoop, and uppercut. Toe out, cat stance, scoop, elbow. Step out, high block. Toe out, step through, chop. Scoop with your right hand, pivot, double elbow. Step out, intercept, punch, sweep. 1, 2, vertical, kick, hop, kick, thrust, strike. Uppercut, press, lift, press, lift, press, lift. Middle, 1, 2, 3, toe out, uppercut. Again, when you're here, 1, 2, 3, toe out, step through, uppercut, and we sweep. 1, 2, 3, turn, lift, sweep with the left. 1, 2, sweep and chop. Shift forward, hook. Back fist, pull back. 1, 2, 3, thrust, step through, punch. Pivot, horizontal to vertical. Pivot, step up, double elbow, step up and close. So, deep breathing. So this is something I know Sifu has taught this before, and this is also something I've mentioned before. Even though Hung Kuen and Chatsing Tonglong are different styles, right? 7-star praying mantis versus Hongga. We can see that there's some connection or similarity to some of the movements. So in Hongga or Hung Kuen, we have the butterfly palm, where we turn the wheel as we turn the waist, and push out. Turn the wheel as we turn the waist, and push out. Now it has its own footwork but that's what the arms and the waist are doing. In Bumblecun, in the 7-star praying mantis, it's a very similar movement. We're here, we turn the wheel, come in, and strike out. Back to the center, turn the wheel, turn the waist. Turn the wheel, turn the waist. Turn the wheel, turn the waist. If you don't have this vertical element here, whether it's for your butterfly palm that you're doing this, you're wide open. And for your mantis, if you're just doing this, you can see there's a big hole here through which you can be punched. So this element of going vertical and then exchange matters. We're here, right? So this, we intercept, bring it around, strike. Intercept, bring it around, strike. Intercept, bring it around, strike. So those are some things that you want to pay attention to, not just the final posture, but the transition that gets you from one to the other really makes all the difference. So a skilled martial artist will be able to see whether or not you have voids in your movement and whether or not your movement is well coordinated and would be effective. And so the best way to make sure that happens is to practice with the mechanics of that in mind. So Sifu talks a lot and teaches a lot to kind of structural integrity, your posture, and position and how you move from one thing to the next. So I think with that, I'm going to bring Sifu back in. Hey, Sifu, you want to trade jobs? No worries. All right, everyone. So, Sifu living the glamorous life of your typical Kung Fu and Tai Chi master. He's right now literally washing windows, but he should be here in 1 sec. He said he's coming, and he'll take over and give further instruction. Again, we really hope that you've been able to use this content that we put out on this regular basis, especially during COVID. Everybody's on lockdown. People are much more isolated. They're much less likely to stay fit and physical. So we hope that if nothing else, you're able to improve your health by practicing with us in the safety and comfort of your home, right? If you have kids, hopefully your kids are able to follow along, especially these classes that say beginner, intermediate. All those classes are called all ages classes. And so they're good from young kids to older adults. So again, hopefully you find this content useful. You guys are the whole reason that we're doing this, that we're putting out all this content, and we hope that it's useful to you. Please feel free to leave comments in the comments section. It can be a compliment, but it could also be a request or even a critique. We're open to all of it. Since we put ourselves out in public, we open ourselves up to all of it. But, we hope that you'll engage with us because when I'm not in front of the camera, and I'm usually just in front of the camera here on Wednesdays, Kung Fu class, the rest of the time I'm running all the streaming scenes, even if it's remote, monitor I leave you in the beyond hands of my.
So, actually, what we've been doing is trying to get organized for keeping this place safe for the pandemic, as well as keeping the people that come comfortable and confident that we're doing what the CDC wants, and also what we feel is safe for our membership. Membership's not huge right now, but the thing is the people that are coming are consistent and they feel comfortable that it is a safe environment. So any of you who've been following and decide that you might want to come back at some point, you should keep in mind that everyone that has been back is actually feeling pretty safe. So, what I've done, actually, this is just for information, anybody watching, that we've added these Velara air filtration units. I just got them today, and it purifies the air. It actually has some honeycomb filters in it that has a UV light inside. It sends it through, and then it actually does something to the molecules, puts oxygen cells, I guess, all over the surfaces, and a virus hit it. It's designed to kill bacteria and viruses. So the COVID-19 viruses will be destroyed in this space. So I have 2 of these units. It does 3,000 square feet on each side. I have 2 of them. We have both sides being filtered and purified, and it takes 6 hours to purify the air on 99% of the. So I'm going to run those 24/7. This is more of a commercial unit that I have that has the ionization, and that ionization part of it is when we're not here, that will run for several hours, and that should take care of anything that's in the space. So if you're coming from home and you're coming here and then going home, then you should be in pretty good shape. Okay, so lately I've been working a lot on posturing and understanding the geometry of positions, because I use geometry of position mainly because that's the only way you can actually understand what your skeletal structure is doing. So in Kung Fu and martial arts, Tai Chi, they all work with our skeletal structure. Muscle memory is all part of that, but skeletal structure is, how do we use our limbs effectively? And our limbs are used effectively by going through some of these areas. So last couple of days I've been talking about referencing your position. So what is it? It's your center line is one thing, and referencing is something that even though you hear the term, not a lot of people exactly understand what that is. So referencing is like when we do a high block, a middle block, low block, you say, oh, we know what high, middle, and low is, but when we do our block, especially the way it's taught here, it's because we only need to block up to the forehead or eyebrow level, and down to the waist level is really here. Anything lower than that, you can change your posture by bending your knees and doing different squats and so forth to get into some of the lower stances. And then, your hands. Middle gate is what we talk a lot about, so you have to understand the hands have to cross the body to be effective. And then, how do you use your forearm, and what side of the forearm is developed by your understanding. Running through your forms for sequence doesn't teach you that. What teaches you that is understanding. If you can't understand why you're doing the technique you're doing, then that becomes a question. And then as you start to evolve and you do your blocks, you'll realize that your hands have to go to a certain position. We work within the framework of this square, this rectangle, and then we have 3 rectangles. There's one here, here, and here. It could be a square, so that's sort of like a block figure. So when we move our hands and cross the body, that's what we're doing. Defending this space, and we lift the hands, we lift, protecting that space, and we drop the hands, we're protecting that space. So that's all we do in our forms. We go from high, middle to low. We have a dragon claw. We have a flapping of the dragon flaps his tiger. We have a tail, and we have the back fist. All of these are areas, right? So you're striking to an area, and then you have to know what you're using. Even in the class we talked about last time, when we chop, your hands have to create a shape, and you create a shape. These shapes create structures, and these structures are what you use. It's like a 2x4 used to build a wall. The size of that thing is consistent, so when you build a wall, if 2x4s were all different sizes, when you put it into a wall, the wall's going to be like this. So when we build something, what we're building here is structure and forming these shapes by consistently going there. We're using the same arm. We're using, our own arm, that is, and we're using our own body as a reference. So when we punch, we have a direction. When we punch, we have a direction. And one of the things I talked about yesterday in class, and if you watched it, we were working a lot on fundamental drills. So a lot of the drills that we work on is just taking a basic movement and honing it till you can get that movement the best you can. You can't do that by practicing the form from beginning to end once or twice a day or once or twice a week. You really can't achieve anything other than improve your memory. So if you want to improve your skill, then you have to take a movement out and you practice it, like chun kyo and punch. That's typically in the form. And then when you punch like this, so if you have punch like this and punch like this, we have a sun punch and a flat punch. We can go like this and this. Those are just two punches that we use in the forms. One's a flat punch in the Moy Fa Kuen. A sun punch maybe will show up when we do a flat punch and a sun punch in the Fu Hok form. So in different forms, we have variations of the same movement. But what does that teach you? It teaches you different, not just transition, but scenarios. This is what's happening now, this is what's happening then. And then we move through the form, and you get the experience of doing all of these different techniques. Now, a lot of people that don't do the traditional arts don't think that's a waste of time, and that maybe you don't need to do that. You just need to get in a ring or just grab someone and just punch them out. But, that's not that easy to do. So the thing is, you have to have a method to practice. So, most of you are practicing on your own. You're not actually practicing with a group, and you're not working or interacting with someone that you can apply that. So the best way to practice it is through the form. But don't practice your forms blindly. Practice it with a level of understanding. And this is the kind of information I try to get across to you as a practitioner, because you can get form anywhere. You can take a book and copy it and follow it and learn the sequence. You can watch all kinds of video online. You can get all of that information and memorize it. But what are you going to do with that information? You have to apply that information. What are you going to do? Read 100,000 books, and then what do you do with that information after you stored it up here? You have to take it into a practical level. So practical level, depending on whether it's a martial art or martial arts application, or you're doing Tai Chi for functionality, for not martial arts necessarily, but for functionality on a daily basis, to be more efficient, to get better circulation, to improve the wellness of your body, the wellness of your health. Today we're dealing with a pandemic. So no one can fight this pandemic unless you either have the resources to do it. Could be a vaccine, it could be a strong immune system. So how do you battle that? You know the information, but you don't understand, what it's about. So what we're trying to do with this is take that information that you hear about the triangles, about the hoops and the squares, and then we apply it to a technique. How do you get your hand to get from point A to point B, and then get it so it strikes accurately? Chun Kyo, dragon claw. So this is what we have to identify with, and then transitions. When we do a drunken fist, I did this yesterday in a class. We turn, strike, here's your drunken fist, and we drop the hand, cross this side, and do a drunken fist. In Fu Hok, we do this. So the thing is, you learn a transition on the right side, but you have to kind of do some of that coordination on your left side, because you can't use the same technique on this side for both offensive and defensive movements, because there is a right and a left side. In other words, if I go like this, and that's the only side I know, what happens if something comes and I have to use this side? I don't know how to use that side because the body hasn't programmed that into, or at least not familiar with it. So if I go this way, or I go this way, or I go this way, and I go this way, I change the footwork, I change the direction, but the hand movement essentially is the same. So that's what you have to understand, is recognize what you're learning as a position. If you're in a low position like this, that's going this way. Well, what about this way? Well, we have this. Okay, we have this, and we have this. So that's a slanted movement. It goes in two directions. The first form, you do this. Okay, in this instance, we do this. But what about when we do this? So if you do the forms religiously and practice, then you begin to understand. Your gung that we do, fifth form, some of you don't know this yet, but it actually does a lot of movements on the left side. So, if you're lefty and we're doing the forms on the right side, you're probably building motor skill on the right side that you don't even have on your left, even though you might be left dominant. some people are lefty, right, do a lot of things on the left side. Then when you learn Kung Fu, you do everything on the right side. You hold a sword on the right side. You have a right side dominant, and in the way we practice, mainly because the old cultures did a lot of the movements mainly as the right side power side, and the left side used more for defensive. So, people know what that's really. When we do this and we have different hands, the secondary hand supports the right side. So I remember when little kids try to attack an adult, and the adult goes like this and puts his hand on the little boy's forehead or little girl's forehead, and then you can never reach the adult because he's got this reach and you don't have it. So, that's using this side, and then whatever you do with the other side. So that reaching hand becomes the hand that you attach to your opponent. So that just gives you a sample of, when we move our hands, there's a purpose on the other side. So don't neglect or forget that you have the second hand. It's not just because we punch like this and it looks good to have this hand here. There's a purpose and there's a coordination. There's a motor skill that has to be developed on this side as well. Otherwise, it doesn't react, it doesn't respond. So when you're doing your forms, pay attention to both sides. When you're doing your forms, pay attention to both legs. And as you progress, some of the understanding will start to, filter into the body, and, you hear it a lot. So then what does that mean? It's all kind of interpreted, to the level of your understanding, and then your perception. You think this is how it is, but maybe you're thinking along the same or the wrong lines, or maybe you're thinking along the same idea. Then if you are thinking along the same idea, then you're probably on the correct track. If you think it's like that and then you find out that that's not what it is, then you have to change that. So that's just advice. I don't have to do as much physical side of it with this. This is more theoretical, and that gives you something to think about and house as a principle and concept. So sinking is dropping, lifting is rising, turning this way and this way is right to left, and that's all you have to really understand at this point, and then get your hands working with the direction. What does that mean? Forward and back, right and left, up to down, down to up. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. All right, I'll see you next time.